With some of the most stunning coastline in New Zealand, welcome to the sunshine capital, Nelson. Nestled in the heart of the gorgeous Waimea Plains, Nelson is proud to boast some of Aotearoa's most spectacular scenery, with a lifestyle to match.
So you thought you were going to see a cheesy travelogue about Nelson. Wrong, wrong. What you are going to see is a bunch of people who are going to tell you why you could live in Nelson.
Just the thought of coming to Nelson, I mean, I'd lived here before in the past and I knew all the different varieties and the different options that Nelson provides as a recreational area. I'm into sport. I mean, not everyone associates me just with rugby, but I can assure you that I love mountain biking. I love the outdoors. I mean, it's just such an open, beautiful place, and there's nothing you can't do here. I mean, there's football, basketball, rugby, there's individual sports, cycling's huge here. There's nothing you can't do within the Tasman region.
Well, I mean, I think that what I see is is an area that attracts people initially because of the environment and the climate, but more and more younger people coming to the region wanting to create their own scene. We've seen over the years a huge buzz with the kind of young people's activities that happen over summer, and I think that feeling and that sort of buzz is filtering through to a group of young people right throughout the year in a whole lot of different ways, not just music, but in fashion and in art. You know, the NMIT art courses attracting some great talent to this region. It's just a general buzz that's really exciting.
Well, certainly our national body, New Zealand Wine Growers, is very much fully behind a sustainable program and has been for years. So trying to match that clean green image of New Zealand with some reality. And most New Zealand vineyards are growing their grapes sustainably now, the majority. And then it's going that extra step further, making the wineries sustainable as well, and possibly going that extra step, being organic, biodynamic, carbon zero. So most wineries, and Nelson's a good example, are somewhere on that journey, so that in Nelson almost all the vineyards are sustainable, some wineries are sustainable, and now there is one winery, the second in New Zealand, to be carbon zero as well.
I think there's a lot of opportunities here. You know, whatever you're into, you can get involved in here. And we've got just as many opportunities as a big city, and possibly more. You know, in terms of drama, we've got a lot of productions and a lot of arty side of things here. Sports, there's pretty much every sport you can imagine here. I play ultimate frisbee as one example. Just really anything. There's just so much to do here, and you really never get bored. It's good.
Well, I guess in doing what I do, which is essentially as a non-executive company director in New Zealand and Australia, I clearly need to travel quite a lot. I need to have an opportunity to be connected to various companies in Auckland, Wellington, Christchurch, Sydney. And the real advantage of Nelson is that we're essentially placed here as anywhere to connect all of those places. For board meetings, I clearly need to travel. And again, the beauty of Nelson is that it's both centrally located and extraordinarily well served with air services, both in terms of frequency and connection. And the other aspect is that it allows me to run a normal office here in Nelson, and with good connectivity by phone, by email. I can be as well connected to all of those places as though I was sitting in the office next door. So you don't need to be based in a major city to do the sort of things that I do. The real advantage, probably ultimately for me, is that the ability to set yourself apart from the day-to-day bits of the business, or in some cases the politics of business, and sort of reflect in a decent environment, allows you to be, I think, much more objective about the business and your role in the business, which when you're constantly surrounded by the business or the politicians. I think in many cases you can't see. So I think there's actually a real advantage in getting business perspective by being in a place like this where the weather's fantastic and you have all those great connectivity pieces that allow you to do the job.
Well, I think artists have always been drawn to this region. There's something about the clear skies, the great light, and just the nurturing aspect of Tasman Bay seems to be very conducive to creativity. It's a really fantastic place to live, and I'm really lucky that my studio is on the edge of the Waimea Plains, and so I can step out of the world of paint and the kind of solitary life of an artist and walk for a few minutes to the end of my road, and suddenly there I am with Pearl Creek and the Waimea River flowing out to sea and all the colours and interesting changes that happen on the edge of the land like that. So I draw a lot of inspiration from that. It's a great place to have my studio.
Both the natural environment, the business and the social cultural environment, it's just so diverse that there's something for everybody with the 3 national parks, so diverse in nature. Our business community is so diverse. We have corporates, we have a lot of support businesses and of course, like the rest of New Zealand, a lot of small businesses. And our social and cultural diversity is immense, allowing people to live here that are very arty, people that are scientists and researchers, and people right from all scales of business.
We've got a fantastic little base hospital that's got terrific specialists within it and people really dedicated and really skilled, so the conventional system is well and truly served, and it's got just about every complementary therapist that you could think of and really skilled, well qualified people, so there's just about any health need that you could have, it's going to be met in Nelson.
The contraction in the banking and IT industries and after September 11 was another factor. And they look at the world map and you say, where would I like to live? Where's the lowest crime rate in New Zealand? Which has got the highest sunshine hours? Which has got the best schools? Where would I like to live? And Nelson, pops up. So we've got a huge expat and new immigrant population in the area. They bring a vast array of skills. Mind-bogglingly, you cannot predict what the next person that you're talking to is going to be able to offer you.
Yeah, when I wake up in the morning, I definitely get out of bed because I know that there's something different that I'm going to do today. And I mean, I organise events and things like that, and even though it's the same deal every single time I put on an event, everything's always different. And like if you want to do something like that, if you want to get anything rolling that you are in control of, no matter how old you are or how much expertise you've got, it's always real easy to get involved with the people who know what to do and know how to show you, where you need to go and what you need to do the things you want to do. So it's it's kind of like a big university. You can learn lots of stuff, but just off other people instead of getting the numbers and all that kind of thing. So it's definitely worth it. Lots of experience here.
Nelson's what I think is the ideal place to bring up children from an educational point of view. It's known throughout the country as a great place offering the best of educational opportunities, and that means from preschool, because we've got an increasing number of preschools, all of great quality, a huge range of primary schools, without exception, all high performing, and intermediate schools, 3 large ones and 2 private preparatory schools, plus a private primary school, and then the 5 secondary colleges. Now, the statistics, NCEA statistics, which is only one form of measurement, of course, but they speak for themselves in terms of the fact that they stack up very well, in fact, well above national levels of achievement, and that's across years 11, 12 and 13, NCEA levels 1, 2 and 3. So it's fantastic.
I love Nelson. Growing up in Nelson is absolutely fantastic because it gives you such a wide range of opportunities. It's a place where you can really excel and take part in anything. When I was younger, I always said, maybe a big city would be good, but then something my dad always said to me was that Nelson is big enough to give you opportunities, but it's not too big to get lost in, which is so true because it's really a place that you can take advantage of the opportunities and excel.
Before you come here, you may need to visit somewhere else. couldyouliveinnelson.co.nz. It's where you'll find answers to the questions you may have about what life in Nelson could be like for you.